I'm about to save another marriage with this Filipino meatloaf recipe, girl. Let's get started. All right, girl, so let's start putting this together, okay? So you need 1 pound of ground beef and 1 pound of ground pork, okay? So what I like to do, I like to kind of mix my beef and pork up just a little bit, just to kind of get it going there, okay? Just to kind of mix it a little bit, okay? So then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs in it, okay? 1 cup of panko breadcrumbs. We're gonna put, 1 cup of milk. Ew, milk and meatloaf. Steve is Filipino, girl, I don't know. 1 cup of milk. We're gonna put 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Okay, this is the brand that I use from the Filipino stove. So we're gonna put 2 tablespoons of soy sauce in it. This is what makes it Filipino. No. Okay. Then we're gonna put 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. Okay. There's all kind of different brands of fish sauce. It doesn't matter, girl, as long as it's fishy. Okay, we're gonna put, this one here's got like peppers in it. This is fancy. Ooh, it's got chilies in it, so it's gonna be maybe a little bit spicy. See, got some chilies in it. That's okay. I ain't afraid of no spice. So 2 tablespoons of fish sauce of your choice. Then we need 2 teaspoons of black pepper. Where's my tea? I'm gonna get my other one here. Is that it, girl? Tea? Yeah, that's a tea. That's tea. There go tea. I'm gonna put 2 teaspoons of black peppers. 1. That seems like a lot of pepper, girl. 2. Girl, I don't know. I'm gonna cut that back just a little bit. That seemed like a lot. Pepper, I don't know. I like pepper, but shit. And let's see here. I'm looking at my recipe over here. Okay, you need 4 tablespoons of homemade banana ketchup or store-bought banana ketchup. You can buy this at the Filipino stores, banana sauce, banana ketchup. I only had a little bit of this, so I kind of had to get creative, and I made, I didn't have a lot, so I put some regular old Hunt's ketchup in there with it, and then a little bit of a Hawaiian barbecue sauce that I had. So it's like a sweet ketchup. Sometimes you gotta compromise, girl. Okay, so what? We gotta put 4 tablespoons of that in there. Okay, 4 tablespoons of our homemade, I guess it's homemade now, girl. And then you got to reserve the rest of it because you're going to put the rest of it on top. So I made about a cup of it, but because you need about 1/3 of a cup for the glaze on top, okay? And then this recipe don't call for this, but I'm going to add a couple eggs. Okay, I just think it's weird there's no egg in this thing to bind it. It's going to hold it together, okay? So I'm throwing a couple eggs in there, and then you need 1 onion, 1 red bell pepper, and 1 green bell pepper, okay? So here's 1 red, 1 green, and 1 onion. I just chopped them all up and put them together, girl. I cut them chunky, okay? And then it says about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. So, girl, I got fresh garlic in my refrigerator, okay? But girl, ever since I found this, shit, that's a lifesaver. I hate messing with garlic, peeling it. And, okay, so 2 teaspoons of garlic. And let's see, I think that's about it. Yeah, and then you're going to need 3 hard-boiled eggs. Believe it or not, we're going to put hard-boiled eggs in the middle of this loaf. So we're not done yet. I gotta boil some eggs, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw in some of this, because it also calls for a teaspoon of salt. But I like this magic syrup. This is good. If you can find this at the Filipino store, it's actually better than salt. So I'm just gonna put 1 package of that in there. And now we're done. Now I'm just gonna take my hand and I'm just gonna mix it all up, girl. Just mix all that shit up. Now this is our meatloaf, okay? Then there's, instead of putting this in a meatloaf pan like I would normally do, there's a different way the Filipino meatloaf is set up. It's set on a flat pan and you form a loaf, which is better because my meatloaf pan is kind of small. I don't think it's going to hold all this shit. It's too much. So I'm going to make a loaf. But we're going to make a loaf. Then we're going to put these, we got to put some boiled egg in. I got to boil some egg. But anyway, you get the point, right? So that's all your ingredients right there. I'm actually going to cover this and let it sit in the refrigerator probably a couple hours before we get to this. So that'll help everything kind of combine. Okay, so we'll come back when we're ready to make the loaf, girl. So I'm going to boil my eggs. The way I boil my eggs, I put hot water on top of them from the sink, and then I put them on high. And when they start to boil, I time it for 11 minutes. 11 minutes seems to make a perfect boiled egg for me, okay? And then I run cold water over them until they're cool. Then I let them soak in cold water a little while. Makes them easier to peel, I think, okay? So that's how I do my boiled egg, girl. All right, girl, let's build this meatloaf, okay? So I got me a big pan here. The biggest pan you got, I would use the biggest pan you got. This is the biggest one I got. You want to line the pan with some foil. I am out of non-stick foil, didn't know that. So I'm gonna use regular foil, but I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with some cooking Crisco butter flavored non-stick spray. Just to be, just to help it not stick. It still might stick a little bit, but whew, girl. The house smells buttery now. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take half of our mixture. So I'm just gonna take my hand and cut it right down the middle here, make a half. We're gonna take half the mixture and we're gonna make a base for it. Okay, this is the first time I've made it like this. I usually put it in a meatloaf pan, but it said to make a a rectangular shape. So we're gonna try to make a rectangle out of this. Hopefully, bind it together. Make us a big old rectangle, girl. Okay. And while I'm doing this, my oven, I turned it on to 350 degrees. I'm gonna follow the instructions on this. It says to oh, who's honking? I hear somebody honking. Somebody's always fucking up my mukbang, or my cooking and my mukbang. Trying to make a rectangle, girl. Okay. So that kind of looks like a rectal tangle. Okay, so now we're gonna put our boiled eggs in there, okay? So I'm gonna put them long ways like this. Oh, I got one egg left over. I didn't know how many eggs I'd need. This recipe actually calls for 3, but I was like, this is gonna be big. I think I'm gonna need 4, and I was right, okay? Then the other half, we're gonna make like a top layer, but I'm gonna try to patty-rize it before I lay it up there. I'll do it like this. Patty rise, is that a word, Steve? Yeah. Means I'm gonna kind of flatten it out. Kind of lay it over the thing like that. I don't know, girl. This is crazy, honey. Yeah, I usually cook meatloaf in my meatloaf pan, so I just stuff all this shit in there. But this is different. It's Filipino style, okay? So I guess what I'm gonna do is just kind of bring it all together and squish it all together like this. Right? I guess that's what we do. We're just gonna make a loaf. I'm gonna pat it down, but then I'm gonna squish it back up because I just want to make sure it's gonna combine and stuff. Put the sides in like that. Okay. That looks like a loaf. I think that's pretty. Like a nice little loaf. All right, so now wash all this shit off my hands, and then now I gotta hit it with the. I gotta brush our ketchup on top, and like I said, the recipe calls for banana ketchup, but like I said, I didn't have enough, so I kind of had to get creative. I put some Hawaiian barbecue sauce and regular ketchup. Oh, girl, there's a fly in my house. Oh, I hate it. Girl, it seems like every time I kill a fly, 5 more of them appear. Okay, so we're going to take our ketchup mixture and we're going to brush all the sides with that. Okay. I'm gonna hit it with the ketchup. I'm gonna put it a little thicker on top. Hope I got enough, girl. That's why I'm putting most of it on the top, because if I don't have enough for the sides, I just want to make sure I got enough on the top. I'll brush that shit all over our loaf. Girl, I think this is gonna be good. Oh, our oven's ready. Okay, girl, we're almost ready. Hold on, oven. Just gotta get this shit all over it. Gotta get this all around. Hell yeah, girl. Girl. And I broke my fly swatter. So I'm gonna have to give me a magazine or something and take this motherfucker out. I am not trying to have him fly around my shit. Put the edges till it's all pretty and glazed. Okay, so what we're gonna do is cook this 350. I usually cook mine in my loaf pan at 325 for 2 hours, but this is, I don't know, this is different. I'm gonna follow this recipe and make sure I don't screw it up. I'm gonna cook at 350 hotter for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. I have a feeling it's gonna take a full hour and 15 minutes, yeah, till we get it to 145 degrees. And it said when you poke it with the thermometer, don't poke the eggs inside, poke the meat, to get a good reading on your temperature. And then once it's done, they say you can turn it up. The recipe says turn your broiler on and just hit it with a broiler on top to brown it up. But anyway, isn't that pretty? Does that look Filipino? No, Steve. It looks like somebody's brain or something. Okay. All right, so let's pop it in the oven, girl. I didn't get it completely centered. Oh well. We're gonna put it in the oven now. 350. I'm gonna set my timer. I'm gonna set the timer for an hour, and we'll check it. But I think it's gonna take an hour and 15 minutes. All right, girl. It's been in there for 1 hour. I don't think it's gonna be ready, but let me just test it here. We're trying to get 100. Well, it said 145 degrees. It said get it to 145. It's like 160. So I think an hour, that did it. So it's done. Okay, well. It's juicy. See the juice coming out of there. So I'm going to put it in the oven. I'm going to switch over to a broil now. I'm going to hit it with a high broil just to kind of give it a little blackness on the top. And that'll cook it. If there's any doubt, it'll cook a little longer. So I think it's ready now, but I just want to hit it with a broiler because it recommended doing that. So let's hit it under the broiler about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll keep an eye on it. All right, I hit it just for 5 minutes under the broiler. Just want to give it a little crispiness to the top there. So now we're going to let it rest. It looks beautiful. We're going to let it rest for about an hour before we cut into it, okay? Ooh, I'm excited. I can't wait to see this. It's a pretty little meatloaf. All right, moment of truth. We're going to slice it and see what we got, okay? Slice it. Hopefully we went through an egg so we can see what it looks like. Okay. Let's see. Oh, girl. Look at that. Hell yeah. Oh, isn't that cute and stuff? It's all done. Looks good. Okay, now we got to do a taste test, girl. Let me give me a little slice and we're going to see how it tastes. Right there it is, girl. Isn't that cute? It's got egg inside of it and stuff. You can see the peppers and the onions. All right, so, but does it taste good? We got to find out. Okay, so I'm going to taste just a piece of it here without the egg and see what we got. Done nicely. Let's see what it tastes like, girl. Oh, hell. That is really, really, really good. If you don't like meatloaf, you'll like this one. Okay, so I'm gonna get a little piece of it here with the egg on it. I don't know what the egg's for, but it's something they do in the Philippines, so let's see. The egg is good in there. I'm thinking it's more for decor, because I mean either way it would be good with or without it, but it's definitely different. Hell yeah, girl. Try this one, girl. You'll like it. I think we just saved another marriage. Shit. Y'all like and subscribe? I'm gonna mukbang this tonight on my Big Gay Steve channel, my mukbang channel. So just look for it in the title of my videos. Or just watch all of my videos until you run across it. I love you guys. We'll see you on the next recipe. Bye.